Hey friend, I've been diving into the ins and outs of Azure AD, and man, let me tell you, it's like a treasure trove for managing identities and access in the cloud. Picture this, Azure AD sits there, a robust IDaaS solution, handling all sorts of identity stuff for folks using Microsoft Azure, and it's a game changer for any admin looking for top-notch security. So, Azure AD offers this cool feature called Single Sign-On, which means one login to access all your resources securely. It's like having the keys to enter your office building, but instead, it's the digital world. If you are setting up your business to run partly in the cloud and partly on-prem, Azure AD Connect stitches everything together seamlessly. Now, every company is different, right? Azure adds flexible enough to roll with varying business needs. For example, I've been playing around with conditional access policies and MFA. Imagine this as having the ability to set up a series of locks and keys where only the right sort of people get the right access and the right sort of keys, like a multi-factor authentication. Delving deeper, Azure AD gives you the controls to manage identities like a boss, think audit logs, privileged identities protection, and just a bunch of other awesome tools that keep bad actors at bay. Okay, now the heavy tech talk. Azure AD's architecture is built on multi-scoped federation. It lets you centralize your identity management, which means one central source for your identities and access. Think of it as having central mailbox instead of individual boxes in each company room. Plus, when it comes to user authentication, Azure AD's integration with Azure Key Vault is something straight out of a sci-fi flick, but for real-life identity management. Getting my hands dirty, I've seen that when something doesn't work as expected, Azure AD's troubleshooting is like having a Swiss Army knife, versatile and reliable. Whether it's a misaligned SSO or an access request gone rogue, Azure knows the drill. I've seen firsthand the diagnostic tools and logs coming to the rescue. Security, as you know, is paramount, and Azure AD's got the armor. The default safeguards and built-in permissions and roles-based access work like charm for keeping everything tight as nut, network security. From there it's all about best practices and getting the latest tech to keep Azure AD in the big leagues of identity management solutions. Tackling the implementation side, I've been working on setting up Azure AD Connect. It's like orchestrating a symphony, making sure on-premises directories chat smoothly with the cloud-based Azure AD. No missed notes, please. Let's not forget the nitty-gritty of day-to-day stuff, like assigning users to groups, configuring conditional access to ensure users have the right level of access based on context. Think of it as setting up various guard stations around your empire to monitor access points. Smart, eh? Then comes the fun part, syncing AD with Azure AD. It's like bringing your friends to a big party where everyone already knows each other. Only, it's all happening in the cloud. I've been playing around with this, keeping users in sync without any hiccups, all data on the go. Oh, and you've got to make sure your apps and services play nice with Azure AD, so I've been tweaking with Azure AD Application Proxy. It's like putting up special doors or barriers that grant access to specific apps in the Azure Cloud Fortress. And integrating with other AD services. I've got my gear tuned to work cross-platform for seamless integration. Let's roll up our sleeves, custom scripts, monitoring, and automation. It's like setting automatic traps or alarms to keep the system under control efficiently. Azure AD Planner comes into play too, helping to organize your resource usage, like a master planner for digital resources, keeping costs in check. In the trenches, I'm testing identities, checking to make sure they're all on point from users to devices. It's like going on a scavenger hunt, figuring out who has what, where, and when they get access. I'm not just stopping at user access, mind you. Azure AD connects with a ton of different services through its extensive integration catalog, so I've been linking it with apps like MS Teams and Service Fabric for a full-stack approach. It's interoperability, my friend, making a seamless user experience from A to Z. Then there's the backbone of the system, policies and governance from Microsoft's Admin Center. You get to set and enforce rules for access, risk-based protection policies like your guard against night demons, but for access. It's where the be-all and end-all comes into play, managing everything from password complexity to age verification. And here's a sweetener, managing access across multi-domain environments while keeping it consistent. Azure AD's single, unified access management policy has no equal, no matter where your users are. If they're within the Azure fold, it's smooth sailing. I've been tweaking that, making it all work like a well-oiled machine within the ecosystem. Don't even get me started on disaster recovery, because Azure AD is top-notch in this department. It's like having a solid backup plan in case someone hacks the system. Azure AD's got the emergency protocols to handle all sorts of mishaps, keeping everything under control and back on track. But let's not ignore the user experience, because if people don't enjoy logging in, no one's going to do it. So I've been working with Azure AD's user interface, tweaking it to keep things smooth and accessible, ensuring every user feels welcomed and at home. Education is key too. I've been sharing my knowledge, from the basics for the greenhorns to advanced strategies for the veterans, because spreading the wealth of knowledge on Azure AD helps everyone stay ahead of the curve. I've got to touch on the cloud journey, how Azure AD is evolving to match the changing landscape. It's the equivalent of an athlete getting new training techniques. Azure AD is always improving, so I always have to stay on my toes. And what about my peers? Collaboration and consulting work in Azure AD is a goldmine. I've been teaming up with other IT pros, working together to tackle complex identity issues. It's about sharing the load and growing the knowledge base as one big family. I've got this blog where I put my learnings to good use, helping other IT peeps understand Azure AD and its potential. It's a community effort, sharing wisdom and keeping everyone up to speed. Sometimes you got to handle the trolls too, why no? I've been dealing with security incidents, the rogues of the digital world. I use Azure AD to quickly identify issues and remediate them to keep things running smooth. Through all this, I've seen Azure AD as a toolbox for securing and managing identities, not just a fancy gadget. It's about strategy, foresight, and constant learning to ensure a smooth sailing digital presence. Now, I want to take that deep dive into Azure AD and share my hands-on experience. I've been doing my part to keep the world secure, leveraging the power of Azure AD for robust identity and access management. For all you tech enthusiasts out there, I know you are all into nailing down your digital estate needle. So here's to exploring the depths of Azure AD and making things run with a click. Check it out, I'm always here to drop some knowledge bombs about tech, just like you might drop one about your favorite band or sport, but with a focus on keeping our digital world safe. I want to hear your thoughts or know more about it so we can keep the convo going. Remember, tech's always evolving, and I'll be here navigating the seas of change with you. So, Keep those questions coming, and let's tackle any tech challenges that come our way together. And hey, if you wanna know more or discuss more about tech and Azure AD, hit up neeraj.qzz.io and don't forget to subscribe to TechLab. Together, we'll conquer the tech world, one bite at a time. See ya on the flip side, tech aficionados.